Alright, welcome everybody. This is video 11. I am here at school today, shooting number 11, and we're going to be talking about methods of separation based on physical properties. Now remember, we said separation was one of those 3 jobs that physical properties can do for you, and there's actually 2 ways that you can separate things. You can filter them or you can distill them, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So filtration is going to be our first one. Filtration is a process that separates matter by the size of their particles, and I'm actually showing you this is a colander or a strainer right here at my house in the kitchen that I use to separate pasta from water. So the pasta stays in the strainer and the water goes behind, and that's one way to do filtration. This is something that's very common and probably something you have used. Let me give you a bunch of examples. So here you've got my favorite tea and teacup right here. So filtration, when you're talking about coffee and tea, is actually done with the bags if you're talking about that. Or if you make coffee, you know, you have the coffee filters and you have the coffee grinds. So that's an example. We talked about pasta and water. If anybody's ever seen any of those TV shows that deal with gold up in Alaska, panning for gold is another way you use the water to separate the gold from the rocks. Another one is you probably have an air filter probably in your house, and you definitely have one in the car that you drive in, and those actually take any of the dust and particles that are in the air and separate it and just give you the clean air on the other side. You could actually check on your vacuum cleaner at home as well, and I bet that has a HEPA filter or maybe some other type of filter that keeps, again, all of the dirt and dust and whatever else in there and then lets the clean air go behind. Water filtration is something you guys maybe use if you've ever seen any of those pure water ones or the ones you hook up to your faucet. Sometimes you have the ones in the pitcher that have the filter in the middle. Those are also ways that you filter out sort of the bad parts of water. And then what you have inside of you are your kidneys. Your kidneys filter a lot of things for you as well. So there are all kinds of filters in all sizes. They come from teeny weeny to the size of a house or bigger. People use them in industries to separate things. People also use them for biological reasons. What you are seeing here is I have a big at home 30-gallon fish tank, and I use a filter and I use carbon in it to help clean the water so I don't have to clean the tank as often. So here's some examples. You can have a sieve, and that to the left I use that in my kitchen or in my tack room for my horses when I'm cleaning stuff out. Keeps any of the solids there and lets the liquids go down. Strainers you probably used with pasta and water and things like that. You could also use paper filters like coffee or tea that we talked about, or cheesecloth, which kind of looks like a cloth, and they actually use it to make cheese, and they keep all the curds on top and the whey goes on the bottom. Alright, hope you enjoy this clip.
After a few failed prototypes, I finally came up with this, the Lifesaver Bottle. Okay, now for the science bit. Before Lifesaver, the best hand filters were only capable of filtering down to about 200 nanometers. The smallest bacteria is about 200 nanometers. So a 200 nanometer bacteria is going to get through a 200 nanometer hole. The smallest virus, on the other hand, is about 25 nanometers. So that's definitely going to get through those 200 nanometer holes. Lifesaver pores are 15 nanometers. So nothing's getting through. Okay, that flow through here, and this is the water. But I got to thinking, you know, if we were in the middle of a flood zone in Bangladesh, the water wouldn't look like this. So I've got some stuff to add into it, and this is from my pond. Right, we're just going to pour that in there. Okay, we've got some runoff from a sewage plant farm, so I'm just going to put that in there. Put that in there, there we go. And some other bits and pieces, chuck that in there. And I've got a little gift here from a friend of mine's rabbit. So we're just going to, you just scoop the water up. Today I'm going to use a jug just to show you all. Let's get a bit of that poo in there. That's not dirty enough. Let's just stir that up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take this really filthy water and put it in here. Do you want to drink yet? Okay, there we go. Replace the top. Give it a few pumps, okay? That's all that's necessary. Sterile drinking water is going to come out. I've got to be quick. Okay, ready? There we go. Mind the electrics. That is safe, sterile drinking water. Good. Lifesaver Bottle is used by thousands of people around the world. It'll last for 6,000 litres.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that clip. I thought it was really interesting to see a filter that's used to be able to make drinking water no matter where you are in the world. So hopefully that'll be a world changer. So let's talk about the second kind. Distillation is the second kind. What is distillation? So you're actually looking at my stove in my kitchen. And distillation is a process that separates matter based solely on its boiling point. Distillation, you start with matter that's combined, also known as that is a mixture, okay, which is a combined matter. So you have to boil it. Then what you do, and the thermometers here is telling you when you get to the boiling point here, you catch that gas vapor, and then you cool it back down, and then you collect it. And that's what you're seeing right here. And I'm going to bet you guys are going to do this in high school and definitely in college. What are some common uses of distillation? So again, remember this is separating them based on their boiling point, so not their size like filtration. You can extract oils from plants, and we use those in shampoos and cosmetics. We use them to eat as well, so olive oil and things like that. Refined crude oil, these are things that you use to heat your house or to work your car or your lawnmower. We use it to separate salt water. So if you are on a desert island all by yourself and you need to make yourself some fresh water and you don't have that water survival that we saw with the filtration, if you boil the water and catch it, maybe in a t-shirt, and catch that water vapor, the salt will stay behind and you can actually drink that water vapor. All right, summary time. Here we go. So we talked about separation is the use of that physical property, and that's based on two different things depending on what kind you're talking about. We talked about distillation and filtration as those two major types. I would make sure to include some examples and make sure you include those physical properties as well in your summary. Remember, summaries are a topic sentence, 3 details, and a conclusion. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in class.